Hey folks, Gail Wolf, and this is Morning Medicine. Um, Running late again today, which seems to be happening a lot lately. But today is a little bit different than other days. The reason being is I had all figured out what I was going to write about, had it all figured out what I wanted to say, had everything pretty well lined out, had my message clear, and then I got a text message from my sister who lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And hey, Jeremy, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. And that's the place where George Floyd lived. And for those of you who are not don't know who George Floyd is, he's the man that was killed the other day by a cop. He's a black guy. Cop was white. In fact, there's a pretty graphic video that's up right now about that, or with that event. And right now, Minneapolis is getting torn apart. There are riots going on. The downtown is ripped apart. In fact, it's even reported that they're not in charge of the police station. They don't even have control of the police station anymore. Place is going nuts. I also heard on the radio this morning that the Republicans are suing the Democrats, which is very interesting. We're also in the middle of this pandemic that some people agree there's a pandemic, other people think it's a total farce. Where I'm going with all this, folks, there's a lot of rage in the air. In fact, right now I'm feeling a lot of rage myself. Things are fucked up. Point blank. Things are messed up. Things are not going in a smooth way right now. Things are messy. Things are ugly. And we're seeing a lot of things that are really disturbing, really challenging, things that really rub up against our humanity, things that cause us to feel stuff that a lot of us don't like to feel. A lot of us don't like to feel this kind of anger. A lot of us don't like to feel rage. A lot of us don't like to feel fear or anxiety or any of these things. However, it's impossible to stick your head under a pillow at this point and hide from it. It's hard to see the images of that man on the ground with that cop with his knee in the back of his neck and not be filled with rage or sadness or both. It's hard to hear about our government fighting constantly and not get upset about that. It's hard to live in the middle of this pandemic and not get upset about that. It's hard to have our businesses get shut down and have friends and family go bankrupt and not get upset about that. It's hard to see all of these things and not get upset. It's our humanity that's coming forward in all of this. And as ugly as it seems, it's also absolutely necessary. All of this is necessary. All of this has to happen in order for us to wake up, to shake up, and do something different. For us to start making different choices, for us to start making different decisions, for us to start choosing a different world, a world that's more peaceful, a world that's more inclusive, a world where we respect each other, a world where we have systems in place that honor one another and uplift each other rather than repress us down, just so 1% of us can have a large portion of the wealth, control, and power in the world. We are in the middle of our entire planet ripping apart at its seams, and we are being shown all of the ugliness that is buried inside of humanity. And perhaps the most disturbing part of all of this, for most people, whether it is acknowledged or not, is the fact that when we see these images of that cop and that black man, we know that there is something inside of each of us that is both of those men, where we have been that the white man and we have both been the black man. We have both been the victim and the perpetrator. We've been both of them. We are seeing our darkness, and it's disturbing. Sometimes it comes in the form of rage. Sometimes it comes in the form of compassion when we see these things. Now, where I want to go with this is that I don't want to make up some pie in the sky talk about, how the new earth is emerging. It is, but rather I want to talk about how to be in this darkness. Hey, good morning, Lynette. Good morning, Kate. Good morning, Jessica. I want to talk about how to be in this type of darkness, because there's a lot of rage out there. There's a lot of frustration, a lot of anger. There's a lot of it. And there are ways that we can deal with this without ripping an entire city apart. We don't need to respond this way. We don't need to rip down businesses. We don't need to destroy police stations. We don't need to destroy our planet in order to change it. Hey, good morning, Jen. Good to see you. We don't need to continue hurting each other with our rage. We just don't need to do it this way anymore. There is a better way. So first thing is feel it. Don't run away from this shit. Don't run away from how you feel. Don't run away from the anger. Don't run away from the frustration. Don't smoke a joint and try to numb out. Don't grab a beer and try to make it go away or try to make yourself feel something different. Don't do that. Feel it. We have got to get in touch with how we feel if we're going to make any real sustainable change. The depth of that create the changes in the world that we need to see, that we all want to have happen. And there are too many of us who are too goddamn afraid to say the things we want to say, and instead we lash out against somebody that's innocent or rip their building down or tear down their business or whatever it is. We don't need to do it this way anymore. Do it differently. We can do it better. We can change this world without tearing it apart. It doesn't need to be this way. It does not. So here's what we can do. Take what you feel. Take what you feel and start actually feeling it. Take a pillow, punch it, beat it up, go outside, scream your head off. If you live in town, drive around in your car and start screaming in your car. Scream your head off. Find a way to vent it peacefully. Find a friend to talk to about it. Go for a run. Get outside. Do something to move the energy. Rage and anger can be a tremendous resource if it's channeled in the right way, if it's channeled productively. It's so much energy in the body. And if instead of destroying something with it, you can create something with it. But it takes self-discipline and it takes presence to what is happening inside of our bodies in order to do that. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. And in many ways, it totally sucks. However, it's what's real. And that's what we're getting asked to do right now, is get to what's real. And sometimes real is really fucking ugly, and sometimes real is really uncomfortable. But that's the truth of it. If we want a real world and we want to have something that's sustainable, lasting, and is going to serve everyone, we've all got to start getting real and start getting to what's inside. And sometimes it's ugly. And these events that are going on right now are just right there, right in our face. showing us ourselves over and over and over and over again. I'll be honest. I've been getting a lot of downloads about this transition we're in the middle of, and we've got a number of years of this kind of stuff to go through. We've got a little while of this. Different events happening, different things just constantly stirring the public, constantly stirring the public. We're going to get a lot of opportunities to work with these types of feelings and these types of emotions. We're going to have lots of opportunities. This is a golden age of change. It doesn't feel good, but it's totally necessary. And the more we can come into a positive relationship to our anger, to our frustration, to our fears, to our concerns, to whatever's dark inside, the more gracefully we're going to move through this. Anger in its initial stages is not graceful. It's not. But it is one of those emotions and one of those feelings that if you can be present with it and allow yourself to feel it, eventually it starts to dissipate. And as it dissipates, you still have energy inside that you can do something. Go move your body, go do something creative. So, what I want to do for this morning medicine is talk about ways to deal with this in a productive way, in a logical sequence of how this can work. First of all, feel it. Don't look away. Do not look away. Feel all the feels. Feel everything that's inside. Get in touch with the shit. Dive into it. Feel it. Own it. Be it. It won't kill you. Feel it. After you've felt it. And whatever you've got to do, get in your car, scream your head off. Whatever that takes. Scream your head off, scream the rage, whatever that is, scream it out. Punch a pillow for a while, go for a run. Move the energy. Rage and anger has a lot of energy. Go move it. Don't take it out on somebody else. Do not do that. Do not destroy something. For some of us, rage and anger gets dealt with better if we write about things. And it doesn't even have to make sense. You can put your pen to the piece of paper and say, shit, I'm pissed. Shit, I'm angry. I want to hurt someone. I want to kill someone. I want to destroy, blah, 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 blah. I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm angry. This world sucks. I'm angry. I'm angry. You don't have to capital letters. You don't have to spell things correctly. Just write it out. Exactly how you feel. It doesn't have to make sense. Just write it out. Write it, write it, write it. Get it out and move it through your body. Don't let it sit inside. That's the most dangerous thing we can do, folks, is when we have this much anger and this much rage inside and to not do something with it, that's what's dangerous. That's what destroys cities. And that's why Minneapolis is getting torn apart right now, is because there's rage that is in the population that's just being dissipated right now. On an individual level, if we learn to dissipate these feelings in a positive way, we can avoid or mitigate situations that are happening right now in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's totally possible. All right. So after you've moved the energy, usually what happens is there's a certain grounding effect, or there are tears. Oftentimes, what resides beneath the anger and frustration is sadness. Lots of sadness. Cry. Take time to feel the feels and cry. Let it flow. Just let it flow. Let the waterworks come. Just let it come. Let it flow. Because in truth, nobody wants to feel this. And it hurts our hearts to feel this within ourselves. It hurts our hearts to see other people feel it. We are all human, and it is our innate nature to love one another. It truly is. That is our essence. And when we see anger, rage, and frustration being acted out in this way, it hurts. It's disturbing. So allow the sadness to come forward. And if you're one of those that's writing this out, then write about the sadness. Again, it doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to punctuate it. You don't have to spell it right. Just write. Just write it out. This hurts my heart. This is angry. I feel sad. I feel hurt. I'm disappointed. I'm mad at this world. I wish I wasn't here. Whatever is true for you, whatever the feelings are, it's not what makes sense here. Rage and anger isn't here. It doesn't happen here. It's here. It's all in your body. This is why you have to move it. It's why it takes more than a cerebral conversation about what's wrong in the world or what's wrong with people. That doesn't solve things. It's all just dialect, mental masturbation. Feelings are here. Don't worry about trying to solve it here. We won't be able to. This is where we create the structures that work in the world. This is where we feel them and know that they're working or not. Other things you can do after you've learned or after you've got the anger or that energy moving is you can do something constructive. Do something that is do something that's grounding, like a walk in the woods, or to connect with a tree, or to dig in the dirt, do some gardening, or hug a tree. Do something outside. Do something to get grounded after you've moved that energy through. Because one of the things about anger, one of the things about rage and frustration is it's tremendously hard for our bodies to hold that frequency within it. And after we've moved it through, our bodies innately want to get grounded to something stable. The earth has a tremendous amount of stability within it. It has a lot of healing properties to it. After we've moved the rage and after it's moved through, find a way to connect with the earth. Find a way to get grounded. It's starting to warm up. Take the shoes off and walk in the grass. Do something to get grounded, and earth and the energy come into you. It'll help to restabilize. Oftentimes, the next feeling after all this has moved through is a sense of relief or a sense of peace. This is where you can start thinking differently, and this is where you can start making different decisions about what you can do about what you've seen. That is the time to make decisions. That is the time to choose. That is the time to decide how you're going to move forward, not when you're in anger and in the rage. That's the wrong time. It's after you've gotten calm, after you've gotten centered, and after you've gotten grounded. That's the time to make decisions. That's the time to call the congressman or congresswoman, or call your senator, or write a letter, or call a friend and start making a plan. Because one of the aspects of all of this, folks, is we're looking at the world right now and seeing all these things that we don't want to see, and seeing all these challenging things that are happening. And there's a sense of powerlessness that we all have, where we can't do anything about it, which does nothing but exacerbate that rage and frustration. But after you've worked all that through, and you're in that place of peace again, and you're more balanced and stable and grounded and level-headed, if you will, start to do something. Start to do something positive, whatever that is. Maybe it's just praying. Maybe it's just a prayer. But do something. Do something that helps you to feel better about the situation. Do something that you feel helps to correct the situation or make it better or improve it. But do something. It's the doing nothing that gets really, really disempowering over time. And lastly, breathe. Folks, we're not going to be in this forever. We won't be. But don't get lost in the idea of what's coming tomorrow. Don't get lost in the world that's being created. Don't get lost in the world that's here right now. We have everything inside of us that we need in order to help make the shifts that we want to make. But it's going to take dealing with things from a very honest perspective by getting in touch with what's real inside and learning how to deal with it in a positive way before that can happen. And that's what I've got to say today. Um, if anybody is feeling pulled and you feel drawn, I don't get paid to get on here and say these things or do these things or to lead the meditation I'm about to lead. And so I deeply appreciate donations. And also, as I alluded to while I was talking a little bit ago about getting information, every Wednesday night I do a live channeling for people where I talk about current issues, current consciousness, where we are evolving into, what we are evolving from. And these channelings go on for about, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. And then I do a live question and answer. And so you can show up, have some questions in mind, and you can ask, and I'll channel and answer. And these questions can be personal, they can be really about whatever you want. So that's on Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, I'm a hold a group for people who are intuitive and want to practice their intuition. And so you're invited to that. And then I also do one-on-one sessions with people. So if you're looking for a little support during this time, and perhaps you're feeling all the feels like I've been talking about, and maybe you want a little help or a little guidance in how to work some of these things through, or maybe you're looking for a little intuitive guidance, I do one-on-one sessions for folks. So in the Facebook post, there are links for all of these things. Please feel free to go through and read about them and click on whatever seems to make sense for you. And with all that being said, I'm going to move into the next part of morning medicine, and that is the somatic work. And so let's see here, turn that off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a stage 2. And this is the somatic work. What it does is it's dealing with polarities. If you look at what's happening in the world and you look at the way things are falling apart and the way people are really at each other right now, the anger and the frustration and so forth, it's a polarization. It's a polarization of emotion. It's a polarization of thought. It's a polarization of energy. And it is, the difference between good, bad, right, wrong, I like you or I hate you, or that sort of thing. Anytime there's a polarization, it's because there are dissimilar energies that are not able to talk or communicate with each other, and so they essentially butt heads. It's like this is right and this is wrong. There's no melding at all, and we have that within us almost all the time. We almost always have some sort of a dissimilar energy. And when that happens, our bodies have to work really hard to keep these energies separate. For example, sometimes we feel love, but then we also feel fear in our bellies. These energies can't communicate. You have something stuck here and you have something stuck here. In this exercise, what it does is it helps to get these two energies to communicate. And so when you've got different energies, it creates anxiety, fear, and frustration. And what we're about to do is a great exercise to help work through anger. It's a great exercise to help work through frustration. It's also great if you have these feelings towards an individual and maybe you have to have a conversation with them, or maybe you have to have a face-to-face talk with them, and you can't even think straight because you're so upset with them. This is a great exercise to practice before you step into that conversation. It'll help to ground you, help to get you level-headed, help to to get your president in your body and help you to be able to function in that conversation in the way that you may want to. So, how this works is one hand goes right here, the other hand is right here on the belly button. The breath is in the nose, and you take a full breath up here, and you take a full breath down here, and you just alternate. And hey, Jennifer's watching. Right on. I was out in Ryan's pasture last night, Jen, believe it or not. Um, that's a story for another time. Anyway, so by breathing into these two spots, taking a full breath here and taking a full breath here and alternating it, what we're doing is we're getting these two different energies, these two different emotions to communicate with each other. All right, so take a moment, get comfortable, sit down, close your eyes, and begin breathing in your nose and breathing into your upper chest. Breathing in and out the mouth. Breathing into your belly button, breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Breathing in the nose and the top hand, and out the mouth. Breathing in the nose into the bottom hand. Out the mouth. Breathing in the nose into the top hand. And as you inhale, stretching the energy, movement, and breath as you inhale and exhaling out completely. Breathing into the bottom hand, breathing right into your navel. Breathing in the nose and stretching your energy, movement, and breath through your belly button. Stretching a little bit further than it's keeping comfortable. Good job. And exhaling out the mouth. We'll take 2 more breaths into each area. Breathing in the nose, breathing directly into your upper chest. Feeling your upper chest expand with air and energy as you do this. And exhaling out the mouth. Allowing your hand to compress all the way back into your chest. And breathing in your nose into the bottom hand. Stretching through your navel, stretching through your belly. Breathing in, expanding, and then out the mouth. Sinking it all back down and breathing in the nose into the top hand. Stretching the energy movement all through your chest and out the mouth. Allowing it to compress. Breathing in the nose into the bottom hand, expanding. And out the mouth. Let your hands come to your knees for a second, or come to your thighs. Just check in with how you're feeling. Check in with what you're noticing. It's the same or different about how you're thinking or feeling. Just do a check-in and notice where you're at. Just take a moment and sit there and breathe for a second. I'm going to close this window because I got traffic going by and it's making a lot of noise. All right, back in the house. All right, so I'm going to go into the last part of morning medicine, and this is a guided meditation. So whether you meditate or not a big deal. Just hang back. You can either lay back, sit back, but just close your eyes and listen to my voice and visualize the different things that I'm talking about. And for some people that have been doing this, they're reporting that they're not able to see the orbs that I'm talking about. Imagine that they're there. And if you can't see them and you can't imagine them, feel who are more visual, It might be that all you can see is light in your forehead, or maybe that all you can see is light inside when you do this. That's fine too. Whatever your experience is of this, it's right. There's no wrong way to do this, which is pretty cool. So, without further ado, take a moment and close your eyes. And this will take about 15-20 minutes. Here we go. Bringing your awareness into your body and allowing that awareness to slowly drift straight down into the earth. Having your awareness all the way down in the center of the earth. As you're down there, as your awareness is down there, feel in and sense the groundedness, the stableness, the balance and harmony and peace that is in the center of the earth. Feel how stable it is. Feel how grounding it is. Feel into and sense the crystals that are in the earth. Feel into and sense the minerals that are in the earth. Feel into and sense the rocks, gravel, and sand that comprise the earth. Feel the soil and the dirt that is in the earth. Feel the water, the rivers, and the oceans that are beneath the surface of the earth. Feel the lava, the molten rock that is in the earth. Feel these frequencies. Feel how steady and stable they are. And then begin to bring that earth energy up into your toes and into the bottoms of your feet. And if it helps, you can imagine walking barefoot in the grass or barefoot on a beach. And allow that grounding sensation to enter your feet, bringing your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your feet. Now bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your ankles. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your calves. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your knees. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your thighs. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your hips. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your tailbone. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your pubic bone. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your lower back. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your belly. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your middle back. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your chest. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your upper back. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your shoulders. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your upper arms. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your elbows. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your forearms. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your wrists. Bring awareness and that grounded earth energy into your hands. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your fingers. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your throat. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into the back of your neck. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your face. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your ears. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into the back of your head. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into the top of your head. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your forehead. Bring your awareness and that grounded earth energy into your eyes. Bring your awareness to the darkness behind your eyes. Bring your awareness to the darkness in your mind's eye right behind the center of your forehead between your eyebrows. Bring your awareness to the emergence of a spark of light that is in the middle of the darkness of your mind's eye. If you cannot see the spark of light, imagine that it is there, or perhaps feel it, or simply see the light that is in your forehead. See, feel, or imagine the color of that light, the brightness of that spark of light. We're going to take 3 breaths into this light, breathing in the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Every breath is going to increase the size or the intensity of that spark of light until it is the size of a marble and becomes an orb. Here we go. Breathing in the nose. Filling the center of your forehead with the energy, with the breath, and exhaling out the mouth. And breathing in the nose for the second breath, filling and growing that spark of light to be a little bit bigger, and out the mouth. And taking the third and final breath, breathing in the nose. Breathing directly into the center of your forehead and exhaling out the mouth. And now we're going to duplicate this marble-sized orb that we have sitting in our foreheads. Its twin straight back between the 2 hemispheres of our brains. And as this marble-sized orb of light begins to move straight back, from the center of the foreheads, it is beginning to increase the number of neural pathways and connections that exist between our right and left hemispheres of our brains, bringing more balance, peace, and harmony to our thoughts and to our minds, more efficiency to how they work. And this orb moves back until it gently resides in the space between our ears, the space of our pineal gland, which is where our intuition is. We're going to take 3 breaths again, breathing in the nose and out the mouth. Every breath is going to increase the size of this marble-sized orb until it is the size of a golf ball. Here we go. Breathing in the nose. And out the mouth. Taking a second breath, breathing in the nose. Increasing the size of this orb to be a little bit bigger. And out the mouth. And taking the third and final breath, breathing in the nose. Expanding that orb till it's the size of a golf ball and expel, breathing out the mouth. Nice job. So now we're going to duplicate this golf ball sized orb that we have sitting between our ears. We're going to send its twin straight down through our throats. And as this golf ball sized orb begins to move down, it's bringing healing light and healing energy into our teeth, into our mouths, into our throats. And as it moves down even further, it's bringing healing light and healing energy into our cervical spines, into our collarbones, into our shoulders, into our upper respiratory systems, into our lungs, until this orb moves down gently into the space of our hearts. We're going to take 3 breaths, breathing in the nose and exhaling out the mouth, breathing directly into our hearts. And every breath is going to increase this orb incrementally until it is the size of a baseball. Here we go. Breathing in the nose, expanding that orb, and exhaling out the mouth. Taking a second breath, breathing in the nose, expanding that orb a little bigger, and out the mouth. Taking a third and final breath, expanding this orb till it's the size of a baseball. Expanding the light and the energy through our hearts and out the mouth. So now we're going to duplicate this baseball-sized orb that we have sitting in our hearts. And we're going to send this orb down to our base. And as this orb gently moves down, it's bringing healing light and healing energy into our livers, our gallbladders, our stomachs. And as it moves down slowly, it's bringing healing light and healing energy to our spleens, our pancreases, our large intestines, our small intestines. It's bringing healing light and rejuvenating energy and chi into our kidneys, bringing vital energy and life force to our kidneys. And as this orb moves down even further, it's bringing healing light and healing energy to our appendixes, to our bowels, to our bladders. And as it gently resides in the space between our pubic bone and our tailbone, It's bringing healing light and healing energy into our reproductive organs, balancing all of our sexual energies. We're going to take 3 breaths, breathing in the nose and out the mouth. Again, breathing directly into this orb and expanding it from being the size of a baseball till it is the size of a softball. Here we go. Breathing in the nose, expand that orb a little bit, and out the mouth. Taking a second breath, breathing in the nose, expanding that orb a little more, and out the mouth. And taking a third and final breath, breathing in the nose, size of a softball, and exhaling out the mouth. Feeling that full expansion through the base. Feeling the connection between the pubic bone and the tailbone and the grounding effect that has on our beings. Now we're going to duplicate this softball-sized orb and allow it to float down into the earth, down through the soil, 20 feet deep into the earth, sending it down 20 yards deep into the earth, sending this orb down 200 yards deep into the earth. Send this orb down 200 miles deep into the earth. Sending this orb down 2,000 miles deep into the earth. Now send the orb all the way to the very center of our planet. As this orb resides in the center of the planet, it is beginning to send the healing light and healing energy of the earth up into the 4 orbs we have sitting in our bodies, into the orb we have in our base, in our heart, in our pineal gland between our ears, and in our pituitary gland behind our third eye. As these 4 orbs begin to receive this energy, they begin to grow out like plants, growing rapidly, expanding their light and expanding their energy into the other areas of our beings, other areas of our bodies, the other systems of our bodies, beginning with our bone marrow, expanding these orbs and the light they have into our bone marrow and into our bones, recalcifying our bones, healing our bones. And as they expand out, they're bringing healing light and healing energy into our joints, into our ligaments, our tendons, into our cartilage, into our myelin sheath that expands throughout our entire bodies and holds everything together. And as these orbs expand out, they're bringing healing light and healing energy into our nervous systems, bringing balance and groundedness and harmony into our neural pathways, opening all of our neural pathways and aligning our spines for perfect neural function. And as these orbs move out even further, they are energizing and revitalizing our immune systems, creating within us the antibodies to the coronavirus and the antibodies to any virus or bacteria that could ever do our bodies harm. Also eradicating any and all cancerous cells from our bodies and from our beings, removing anything that does not serve the highest functioning of the cells of our bodies, And as it expands out even further, it's bringing healing light and healing energy into our endocrine systems, bringing balance and harmony into all of our hormones throughout our entire body. And as these orbs expand out even more, they're bringing healing light and healing energy into our circulatory systems, healing our arteries, our veins, our capillaries, our blood, our hearts, our lungs. And as these orbs expand out completely, they're bringing healing light and healing energy into all of our senses, our eyes, our ears, our sense of smell, taste, and touch, revitalizing the elasticity of our skin and awakening the quantum layers and the quantum elements of our DNA that resides in every cell of our bodies, awakening these quantum layers and quantum elements of our DNA that our science calls junk, awakening the frequencies and the layers of DNA that enable our cells to talk to our conscious minds, enabling our DNA and our cells to activate the divine blueprint that lives within our DNA into the function and form of our bodies, bringing about the greatest efficiency and function in this world for a greater sense of love and oneness for ourselves and with each other. And take a moment to sit in silence with that. And when you're ready, you can begin wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, and wiggling your nose. Move your body from side to side a little bit, forward and back, reawakening yourself to the present moment. And when you're totally ready, you can open your eyes, bring your awareness back to the screen in front of you or wherever it is. Bring your awareness fully back into the room. Right on, folks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this. Whatever we heal inside of ourselves, we help to heal in everybody else. So thank you for your journey. I will be back again on Saturday morning, which is in 2 days. Until then, please be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and take care.